Hey, what's up you guys? It's Ryan with Rise and Grind Workshop. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a quick look at one of the tools that I use in my shop almost daily, and I probably get the most amount of comments. Let's take a quick look at those right now. So as you can see, most of those comments came from my TikTok channel. I tend to upload about 3 to 4 times a day over on that channel. So if you're not following me over on TikTok, now would be a great time to head on over there and search for RNG products, otherwise known as Rise and Grind Workshop. So let's go ahead and do a quick overview of the Ryobi 18 volt brad nailers. And again, this is a quick tool overview. I am not going to sit here and take a deep dive and break these tools apart and talk about the internals of the Ryobi compared to another make and model. That's not what this video is about. There's plenty of other YouTube creators that love to dig into these products. That doesn't matter. All I want to convey to you today is it worth you going down to your big box store or checking out my Amazon store, which I will have linked below if you don't have access to a Home Depot where these are primarily sold. You can log in through my Amazon link. It'll help support the channel and you can pick up one of these nailers. So let's go ahead and talk about these bad boys. All right, you guys, let's dive right in and get talking about the 18 volt line of cordless brad nailers from Ryobi, everybody's favorite budget-friendly tool that you can pick up at your local big box stores. And if you guys don't have access, I know I talked about this earlier, jump onto my video description below. I'm going to link everything that I use below, and Amazon does sell these now. So if you guys want to support the channel and you guys want to pick up one of these amazing products, take a look at the link below, visit my store, and pick up all the items you need. It helps out my store and it helps me create content like this. As I said earlier, we're just going to take a deep dive. I just want you to walk away from this video knowing whether or not you should buy one of these and whether you're going to be happy with it. I'm not here to debate if this is the best tool ever made or if it beats your orange, red, green, yellow, blue, purple, whatever other tool makers are out there. I'm not a tool snob. I buy what works for me, and I've been blown away at Ryobi's tool line for these brad nailers. I personally don't like a lot of the other tools. Let's face it, they are a cheaper made brand. We know that. This isn't something you're going to buy and go out and use in an industrial commercial setting every single day. If you do that, of course, the tool is going to prematurely fail, and then you're going to talk negatively about the brand. As long as you use this item for what it's intended for, it's a solid buy. So let's just get right to the chase. It's a solid buy. I have no complaints. The only model that gives me a couple issues are the 16 gauge nailer. We'll get to that. Like I said, we're talking about the 23 gauge, 18 volt, 2 milliamp battery. This thing kicks ass. Just remember, pin nailers are typically used by finished carpenters for doing kinds of trim and molding, where this is just going to leave a tiny pin nail, hence the name pin nailer, but it's going to leave a tiny pin nail almost naked to the human eye. So with a little bit of adhesive behind your trim and a pin nailer, you're going to be good to go. One of the things that people comment a lot on my TikTok videos is, man, dude, did you use enough nails? Well, remember, these aren't nails, these are pin nails. These don't offer any structural strength. A lot of times I'm building one-off little pieces and I'm just using the pin nailer to literally hold the shape in place. I'm not clamping these items up. There's not a lot of stress on them. They're just simple holders for my French cleat wall. But I primarily use this over on my CNC machine. A lot of times for work holding, I can just put a tiny little pin nail in 4 corners. It's going to hold my material down. I'm not working with clamps. And I make my product. I dig that thing out of the spoil board. We're good to go. So at the end of the day, I believe this shoots from a 1/2 inch up to the maximum would be 1 3/8. Again, 18 volt, just uses a 2 milliamp battery. I use this thing every single day. Again, if I was a contractor or somebody putting this through his paces every single day, I typically would not buy Ryobi, but I have used this model for so many hours that I honestly could say you could probably buy this and get away with using this on a construction site. I've had 0 freaking issues with this unit, and we'll talk about pricing a little bit later, and it's one of the main reasons I went with this unit. Let's go ahead and really quickly talk about the next model. This is going to be your 18 gauge. This is going to shoot your standard brad nail. This is probably what 90% of the population uses, especially in your little hobby shop. And even some people probably starting out in the construction trade could, again, get away using the 18 gauge. Now, the 23 gauge pin nailer, it does not have any adjustment for air pressure, Pretty much you have a safety trigger right here. You're gonna pull this down with like your middle finger, and then you could go ahead and press the trigger. That will engage the pin nail. That's your little safety feature right there. And you do have your little LED light up here on top. Once you jump up to the larger model where we're dealing with an 18 gauge brad, it's gonna take a little more air pressure. It's a bigger unit. It's an 18 volt battery. Again, all these batteries are interchangeable. Safety switch on the inside. You could do single fire, you could do rapid fire. And again, this is the 18 gauge unit. It's come with an extra tip. It's got some nice rubber on it. Again, I don't work in the construction trade. I have a hobby wood shop. I run a small business out of here. I probably use this one a couple times a week. And since I've purchased this unit, same thing. It fires away. I don't have any jams in it. I adjust the pressure on the air pressure settings. It always sinks the nail head in for me. I have no issues with it. Now, the only model that I've had an issue with, and I knew about the issue because I did my research before buying it, this is the 16 gauge pin nailer. I don't use the 16 gauge that often. Again, I bought it for one project. The reason I own all three is because of the pricing, guys. Look, I use everything from Ryobi all the way up to Festool. I'm not a tool snob. Not everybody has a budget. The older I've gotten and the farther I've gotten along in my professional career, yes, my tool budget has expanded. Time has become more important to me. I sometimes now will spend more money to get a luxury item that I don't have to have. I could get the job done with something like a Ryobi. So just keep that in mind. Don't ever feel ashamed that all you can afford is Ryobi. There's plenty of woodworkers and craftsmen out there that have far less access to all the tools I have, and they can work circles around me. So guys, if you're just starting out, there's nothing wrong with Ryobi. Go buy it, start creating and start learning, start selling some projects. As you start making money, you will see the areas in your shop that you need to increase and buy some better quality tools, and then at that point in time, go ahead and do that. But again, like I said, I don't use this all the time, so I still wouldn't spend the money for a different brand that has better reviews because the price point for these are so cheap. Now, the one thing that I'm going to tell you, same thing here. You have an adjustment on the back for your air pressure. We're shooting a 16 gauge brad. This bad boy in here is like 2.5 inches. That's a really big brad. I would say if I'm shooting like a 2x4 to a 2x4, out of 5 of those, 1 or 2 of the 16 gauge brad nail will not fully seat. For me, it's not a problem because I rarely use it. Time is money for most people using this kind of equipment. I'm okay. I can take my hammer that down. Worst case scenario, if one just goes in flush and I want it to sink a little bit, I'll go ahead and grab a small punch and a hammer. I'm going to punch that down. So again, 18 gauge, 23 gauge, no problem. I've used DeWalt, Porter Cable, and Boss Stitch. I've used all different brads, pin nails, makers. These have worked flawlessly. I've owned these for almost 2 years. No issues. I would buy these all day long. It doesn't matter what brands you own. These kick ass. They work so well. I do have a couple brad nailers that work off of air. I just love not tripping over cords. I love not having to make sure my air compressor's on. I can listen to music in my shop. I'm not having to listen to my compressor run all day long. So guys, I'm telling you, if you're on the fence about a 23 gauge or an 18 gauge, last time I checked, if you go to my Amazon link, I believe you can get the 18 gauge plus a battery for like $149. If you look at the 18 gauge Milwaukee, just the unit alone is $299. So again, guys, don't be a tool snob. If you're not putting this thing through its paces every single freaking day and you're working on a job site, it's okay to spend a little less money. I own all 3 units, probably for the price of one better known brand unit, like an 18 gauge nailer plus a battery charger plus a battery. I'm able to own all 3 of these plus multiple batteries, and they get the job done. And like I said, the 16 gauge, I've probably only used it 3 times in 2 years. And so for me, having one of the brads stick up's not a big deal. But if you're using this thing every single day and you're having to go back and hammer the brads in or use a punch, Obviously, that's not going to be something that you want to use if you're trying to run a successful business or you're out there trying to get the most amount of work done in a day. That's going to set you back, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem. And that's where you might want to go ahead and step up to the plate and spend some more money on a more high-powered, like an air-powered one. I don't even know a lot. I don't know if there's other brands out there. I'm sure they make like DeWalt's making the 20-volt stuff, and Makita's making the 20-volt. So they might have a unit like that. So 16 gauge, I'm in the air on it. I would still buy it. But even like I said, guys, I'm not a tool snub. I've got some of the other drills here. I don't use these, and my drills, I've got Rigid, and I've got Makita, and I've got Milwaukee for the drills. They're just, you know, finishes a little bit better, triggers a little bit better. They're just an overall better made unit. But you have to remember, we're just talking about the drill guns. We're not talking about the brad nailers. This is one of Ryobi's like dirty little secrets, right? I'm just telling you, I freaking love these things. So I just hope you guys get excited like I do and you want to buy these bad boys. These here, you know, like I said, guys, it's not my number one choice. It's heavy, it's bulky, the plastic's a little bit cheaper, the rubber's a little bit cheaper, everything functions a little bit cheaper. But again, you're paying, like I said, I only paid $99 and I got a drill driver, a hammer driver, a normal drill gun, I got a charger, and I got a battery. So here's a pro tip for you. What I like to do is I keep my main bits that I predominantly use in my main drill guns. Then if you do find yourself getting some offshoots like this, just load them up with some oddball bits that you don't want to change out. It's nice when you can walk over to your tool bench and you've got 6 drill guns and all 6 drill guns have a different bit. It allows you to do production work and get stuff built a lot quicker without changing the tips. So even though these aren't my favorite makes and models and brands, I can still use them for what they're worth. Well, folks, there you have it. That's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my basic overview on the Ryobi airless brad nailers. Like I said, 23 gauge, 18 gauge, double thumbs up. I would say on the fence on the 16 gauge, if you're using it in a home workshop and having some of the 16 gauge nails not fully seat once every 5 nails, if you can live with that, it's still a great buy. If something like that's going to hold you back, then I would probably look into some other alternatives. And as always, guys, if you want to help support the channel, one of the easiest ways you can do that, and for free, smash that like button. I know every creator says it, but honestly, if you guys hit the like button, it will help get this video out there. It's going to allow me to make more content for you guys. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you guys own any of these Ryobi nailers. Let me know if you own any other Ryobi products, and also let me know what other products in the Ryobi line that I should be looking for. If you hate these Ryobi products and you have a better tool brand or alternative that you like, drop a comment below and help other hobbyists out. And as always, big thank you to every single person that made it to the end of this video. Congratulations, you have a much longer attention span than I do. 2021 was a shitty year for everybody, completely understand that. So I truly hope that 2022 is full of promises, and I hope you get out there and you make it happen. I know for myself, I've got a lot of really big things coming to my channel in 2022. So if you're not subscribed and you do like this content, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and if you don't want to miss a video when I drop it, hit that bell notification, notified right away. We'll catch you on the next video, guys.